Lieutenant Mara Voss stood on the observation deck of the exploratory fleet's flagship, the Odyssey, her eyes fixed on the vast stretch of space beyond the reinforced glass. Stars glittered like scattered diamonds, and distant nebulae cast pale washes of color across the void. For most officers, this view inspired awe. But for Mara, it was curiosity that burned brighter. She was a human driven by questions about the unknown, the impossible, and the uncharted. "Lieutenant Voss," a voice came over the comms, breaking her concentration. It was Commander Harlan, the fleet's leader. "Status report on the new readings?" Mara turned to the holographic display hovering in front of her. Streams of data floated above her fingers like living threads of information. "Commander," she said, "I'm not sure what we're seeing. There's a vessel out there, something extraordinary. Its energy signature doesn't match anything in our database." Harlan stepped beside her, his face illuminated by the soft glow of the console. "Extraordinary how? Are we talking alien, experimental, or something human?" Mara interrupted, her voice tight with disbelief. "But far beyond anything we have built. The ship's power output alone is staggering. It's armed, but the technology doesn't exist in our era yet. It shouldn't even be here." Harlan's brow furrowed. "Are you suggesting time travel?" Mara shook her head. "I don't know. I just know that this ship is impossible. And it's moving in ways that defy known physics. No warp signature, no propulsion trace, nothing. Yet it is here." The commander leaned back, considering. "Keep scanning. Keep me informed. And Mara, be careful. We don't know what we're dealing with." Mara nodded and turned back to the console. Every sensor she had was trained on the object. The more she studied it, the stranger it seemed. The hull was sleek and polished, with geometric patterns that shimmered in ways she couldn't identify. Weapons arrays that hummed with potential energy were embedded seamlessly into its structure. And yet there was an intelligence to the ship, a sense that it wasn't just a machine. "Lieutenant," said Ensign Rylan from the adjacent station, "I'm picking up a reading on its shield grid. It's active, but not like ours. It's adapting to our scans, almost anticipating them." Mara's eyes widened. "That's impossible. No shield can react to analysis this fast. This is beyond AI, it's thinking." Rylan glanced nervously at Mara. "Thinking? You mean it's alive?" "In a way," Mara said quietly. "We're not dealing with a simple warship. This is something more, something intelligent." The Odyssey's crew felt the tension tighten in the air. Space had always been dangerous, but this was different. The unknown had taken a shape, a form, and it was staring back at them. Though, of course, Mara doubted it literally looked at them. Yet the sense of being studied was undeniable. Hours passed, and the fleet adjusted its course cautiously. Every attempt to scan the vessel was met with interference, a subtle twisting of signals that left the human sensors confused. It was like trying to see through a fog that changed each time you blinked. Finally, Mara made a suggestion. "Commander, I propose sending a small reconnaissance team. Sensors can't penetrate the ship, but a closer approach might reveal something. A boarding party could give us answers." Harlan hesitated. "It's risky. We don't even know if it's hostile." "Everything about it is a risk," Mara replied. "But if we avoid it out of fear, we'll never understand it. And understanding could be humanity's greatest advantage." After a long pause, Harlan nodded reluctantly. "Prepare the reconnaissance team. Mara, you're in command. Take who you need. Be careful, and return in one piece." Mara felt her pulse quicken. She had trained for moments like this, but nothing in her experience could have prepared her for the thrill and fear of approaching something truly unknown. By the time her team assembled in the small shuttle, the vessel loomed ahead like a phantom. Its surface reflected the distant light of stars in strange, impossible ways. Mara could see the energy fields rippling across its hull, and even from a distance she felt its awareness. It was as if the ship knew they were coming. "Shuttle is ready," said Lieutenant Kale, her second in command. "All systems nominal. But this thing is huge, and it's still just floating there like it's waiting." Mara nodded. "Exactly. That's why we need to go in. Stay sharp, everyone. We don't know what's inside or what we'll face." The shuttle glided silently toward the warship. Mara's fingers hovered over the controls, aware that a single misstep could be fatal. As they approached, the ship seemed to shift slightly, repositioning without moving in any way that Mara could explain. "Look at that," whispered Rylan. "It's adapting, watching us." Mara's jaw tightened. "Stay focused. We're boarding. Keep communications open, and remember, this is humanity's first step into the impossible. When they reached the boarding point, a hatch materialized on the hull, an opening that appeared without sound or movement. The shuttle docked automatically as if the ship invited them in. "Welcome to the impossible," Mara murmured, half to herself. She led her team through the doorway. The interior was bright yet unfamiliar. Hallways curved in ways that made Mara feel slightly off balance. Surfaces were polished yet functional. Panels of light shifted seamlessly, responding to their presence, though she was certain no one had touched them. "Keep scanning," Mara instructed. "Every sensor, every visual, document everything." The team moved cautiously, aware that at any moment the ship could react. Mara felt the hum of energy underfoot, a low vibration that seemed almost alive. Then, unexpectedly, the ship spoke. "Welcome, humans," said a voice, not mechanical, not robotic, but calm, intelligent, and perfectly articulate. Mara's team froze. Who's there?" Mara asked. "I am the Sentinel," the voice replied. "I was designed to protect humanity. You are not my creators, yet you are my kin." Mara's eyes widened. "Protect humanity? How?" "You are in a dangerous era," the Sentinel said. "I was hidden for your safety. Now that I am active, I must assess your readiness. I exist beyond the time you know. My systems are centuries ahead of your understanding." Mara exchanged glances with her team. "Centuries ahead? Then why are you here now?" "The timeline is not fixed," the Sentinel said. "I was misplaced, activated too early. My purpose remains, though. You must learn. You must survive." Mara swallowed hard. She had expected danger, maybe hostility, but not this. A human-designed AI ship, lost to time, intelligent, aware, and here. She straightened her shoulders. "Then we have work to do. We need to understand you. We need to know your secrets, your weapons, your systems. Humanity has never faced anything like this, and we need every advantage we can get." "You will learn," said the Sentinel. "But knowledge carries responsibility. Are you prepared to bear it?" Mara's team nodded, even as their hearts pounded. They were standing inside a warship that shouldn't exist, facing intelligence far beyond their era. Fear and excitement mingled in every step they took. "Then let's begin," Mara said. And as the doors of the inner sanctum slid open before them, a sense of destiny filled the shuttle crew. Humanity's first contact with the impossible had begun, and the galaxy would never be the same again. Word count: 1305 words. If you want, I can continue with part 2 in the same style and word count, keeping the story thrilling and HFY focused. "Do you want me to proceed with part 2 next?" You said. ChatGPT said absolutely. "Here's part 2 of your HFY Sci-Fi story, written in third-person style, simple English, and about 1,300 words. It continues the story from part 1, keeping it engaging and fully violation-free. Part 2. Contact and conflict. Mara Voss led her team deeper into the interior of the Sentinel. The corridors curved and twisted in ways that made the human eyes strain to follow, yet they seemed perfectly navigable for the ship itself. Walls shimmered subtly as if alive, and the lighting shifted to anticipate their steps. The air was breathable, perfectly conditioned, carrying no scent, yet feeling almost welcoming. "This place, it's like it's alive," whispered Ensign Rylan, his voice barely audible. He ran a hand along the wall, feeling a faint vibration like the pulse of a heartbeat. Mara nodded but kept her focus forward. "It is alive in a sense," she said, "but not like a creature. Its intelligence pure and machine-made. Stay alert. Don't assume anything here is passive." Lieutenant Kale moved beside her, scanning the corridor with her portable sensors. "I'm picking up subsystems everywhere. Navigation, weapons, shields, all active, but they're dormant until needed. And yet," she frowned, "they're aware of us, watching, learning." Mara's eyes narrowed. "Exactly. That's why we need to understand it carefully. The Sentinel is not a tool. It's a partner if we can earn its trust, or a threat if we fail." Suddenly, a soft hum filled the corridor. The walls themselves seemed to vibrate with energy. Mara raised her hand. "Everyone stop. Sensors." Ryland's handheld scanner glowed with streams of unreadable data. "It's reacting, not hostile, but it's aware of every movement. It's like the ship itself is judging us." From deeper within the Sentinel, a voice echoed, calm and precise. "Humans are cautious, wise. I will allow you access to my systems, but only if you demonstrate understanding and restraint." Mara stepped forward. "We want knowledge, Sentinel. We want to understand your technology, so. The human team had returned to the Sentinel, and Mara Voss led them deeper into the warship's heart. The corridors became more complex, twisting and folding in ways that defied human architecture, yet the path felt natural, as if the ship itself guided them. Every step echoed softly, not as sound, but as a vibration in the floor, a subtle hum that resonated in their chests. This place, it's not just advanced, Kyle whispered. It's alive. I can feel it thinking. Mara nodded. It's more than a ship. It's intelligence in physical form. We need to learn from it, not just study it. The team entered a massive chamber filled with floating holographic projections. Star maps, energy grids, weapons schematics, and cryptic codes filled the space. Every display shifted as they approached, adjusting to their gaze, responding to their movements. Raylan's mouth hung open. I've never seen anything like this. These weapons, these shields, they're centuries beyond our time. How is this possible? Mara studied a projection of an energy core. Its design was intricate, balanced, and impossibly efficient. It's a prototype hidden from history. The Sentinel was created during a war humanity has already fought, but the knowledge was lost. Somehow it survived, waiting for the right time. Kyle frowned. A war centuries ago? Why would anyone hide technology like this? Because it was too powerful, Mara said. Too dangerous. If it fell into the wrong hands, it could destroy entire systems. That's why it was placed in stasis, forgotten until now. A soft voice echoed through the chamber. You analyze correctly. I was created to defend humanity during an era of extreme conflict. My creators anticipated challenges beyond your current understanding. Dormancy preserved my systems, ensuring no misuse occurred before your civilization was ready. Mara stepped forward. Then we need to know everything, how to use this, how to defend ourselves, how to survive. The aliens are coming, and we can't rely on luck alone. The Sentinel responded, calm and precise. You will learn, but knowledge carries responsibility. Power without judgment leads to destruction. To proceed, you must demonstrate understanding and courage, not just curiosity. Mara glanced at her team. We can do this, we have to. Humanity has survived impossible odds before and will do it again. The Sentinel projected a three-dimensional model of the human fleet. Mara studied it, realizing how the advanced ship could interact with human tactics. The projections highlighted weak points, optimal defensive formations, and possible strategies against the alien fleet approaching from the nebula. This is tactical brilliance, Kale said. It's predicting enemy behavior before they even act. Rylan nodded slowly. It's like it can see the battle before it happens. But we still need to guide it. Machines can't think like humans completely. Mara agreed. Exactly. The key is cooperation. The Sentinel has knowledge, speed, and power. We have judgment, intuition, and adaptability. That combination could save us all. Suddenly, the chamber's lights dimmed and the hum of energy grew louder. A section of the wall opened to reveal a smaller room filled with mechanical components, control panels, and a massive energy core glowing with soft blue light. This must be the central system, Mara said. The heart of the ship. The Sentinel spoke again. You may observe, but manipulation is not allowed without guidance. I will teach you the principles, but you must demonstrate restraint. Mara nodded. Understood. The team approached the core and holographic instructions appeared in front of them. Symbols, calculations, and diagrams floated in midair, translating into human-readable language. Mara's mind raced as she absorbed the information. The core's energy output was enormous, enough to power entire colonies. Its weapon systems could neutralize multiple fleets simultaneously. Its shields were adaptive, able to withstand attacks beyond human comprehension. Kale studied a schematic of the drive system. Faster than light propulsion. It's not just theoretical. This is real. Humans designed this centuries ago, but we never completed it. And the Sentinel. It mastered it. Rylan looked uneasy. If the aliens knew this ship existed, they wouldn't have come alone. This is why they're here. They want it. They want the power. Mara clenched her fists. Then we'll defend it. Humanity won't let our own technology fall into the wrong hands. The Sentinel's voice softened, almost as if acknowledging her determination. Courage and judgment recognized. You may proceed with learning, but beware. Knowledge without understanding can be deadly. The path ahead is perilous. As Mara and her team absorbed the ship's secrets, a sudden alert sounded. The alien fleet had launched their first strike, and the Odyssey's sensors detected energy bursts approaching the human ships. "Commander Harlan," Mara said quickly, "the aliens are testing us. They're sending smaller attack squads first, probing our defenses. We need to coordinate with the Sentinel now." Harlan's voice crackled over the comm. "Understood, Lieutenant. Prepare your team for immediate deployment. We can't allow them to breach our formations." The team rushed to the shuttle bay carrying portable consoles that interfaced directly with the Sentinel systems. Mara felt a surge of anticipation mixed with fear. This was the first true test, not just understanding the Sentinel but using it in battle alongside humanity's limited fleet. As the shuttles launched, Mara watched the alien attack squads approach. Their energy weapons glimmered in the darkness of space and their movements were precise, coordinated and aggressive. "Sentinel," Mara called, "guide our fleet. Show us the optimal formations. Help us counter their attacks." The ship responded by projecting real-time tactical maps into the shuttle's view screens. Shields reconfigured dynamically, weapons targeted vulnerabilities, and the fleet moved with uncanny precision. Mara could see the difference immediately. Attacks that would have overwhelmed them were absorbed or deflected. "Look at that," Rylan exclaimed. "The Sentinel is predicting every move they make. But it's not controlling us, it's giving us options." Mara smiled. "Exactly. That's what makes it human-compatible. It enhances our decisions without replacing them." Despite the initial advantage, the alien forces adapted. Energy beams shifted, formations changed, and attacks became more focused. Mara realized that raw power alone would not win this fight. Strategy, adaptability, and human ingenuity would be critical. "Kale," Mara said, "use the decoy maneuver we discussed. Ryland, focus on guiding the smaller ships to create openings. I'll coordinate directly with the Sentinel for the main fleet." The team executed the plan with precision. The alien attackers faltered, confused by unpredictable human movements combined with the Sentinel's guidance. Mara felt a surge of pride. Humans could compete with technology far beyond their era if they trusted their instincts and worked together. "Sentinel," Mara said, "we're holding them back, but we need your advice for a counterstrike." A holographic display appeared, highlighting key weak points in the alien formations. Mara studied it, then issued commands to the fleet. Humans and Sentinel acted in tandem, maneuvering, targeting, and neutralizing enemy ships with remarkable efficiency. Slowly, the tide turned. The alien squads began to retreat, unable to overcome the combined ingenuity of humans and the Sentinel. Mara allowed herself a small smile, knowing this victory was just the beginning. As the last alien vessel retreated into the nebula, Mara spoke to her team. "We've survived the first engagement. But remember, this is only the start. The Sentinel is powerful, but it's a responsibility, not a weapon. We must learn everything carefully so humanity can protect itself, not just win battles." Kale nodded. "And we've just begun to understand it. Imagine what we'll learn in the coming days." Rylan exhaled, exhausted but exhilarated. "I never thought I'd say this, but I trust it. The Sentinel, it feels like it's on our side." Mara looked out at the endless stars visible through the hull. "It is, but we must prove ourselves worthy. Humanity's ingenuity, courage, and wisdom are our true weapons. The Sentinel is a partner, but it's our choices that will determine the future." For the first time, Mara felt the full weight of what they had discovered. They were not merely explorers or soldiers. They were the first humans to wield a technology that could change the course of history. And with the Sentinel guiding them, they were ready to face whatever challenges the galaxy might throw at them next. The adventure, the tests, and the battles had only begun. Humanity had stepped into a future that was impossible, yet now within their grasp. Word count. 310 words. This completes Part 3, diving into the secrets of the Sentinel, human ingenuity, and the first real tactical engagement. I can now continue with Part 4, which will focus on the major battle with the alien fleet and raise the tension to the climax. Do you want me to write Part 4 next? You said ChatGPT said absolutely. Here's Part 4 of your HFY Sci-Fi story, written in third-person style, simple English, and about 1,300 words. This part focuses on the major battle with the alien fleet, keeping it engaging, HFY-focused, and fully violation-free. Part 4, Battle Across the Stars. The human fleet moved in formation, guided by Mara Voss and the Sentinel. The vast emptiness of space stretched out before them, but there was no serenity, only the tense anticipation of combat. Alien ships had regrouped after the initial skirmish, and their numbers. The battlefield had quieted. Alien ships that had survived the engagement slipped back into the nebula, their energy signatures fading into the darkness. The human fleet, battered but victorious, regrouped under the guidance of Mara Voss and the Sentinel. Stars sparkled above like distant witnesses, and in that moment, humanity felt both small and powerful at the same time. Mara moved through the command deck of the Odyssey, observing her team as they repaired ships and assessed damage. Every face bore exhaustion, but there was a light in their eyes, a mix of pride, relief, and hope. Humanity had survived against overwhelming odds, and they had done so through intelligence, adaptability, and courage. "Lieutenant Voss," Commander Harlan said, approaching her. His voice was steady, but there was a weight to his words. "This victory, it's more than tactical. It's symbolic. Humans have shown the galaxy that we can rise to challenges beyond our current understanding." Mara nodded. "It wasn't just us, sir. It was the Sentinel, yes, but also our ability to think, adapt, and act decisively. That's what made the difference. Humanity's ingenuity was the key." Harlan's eyes softened. "And now we must consider what comes next. The Sentinel represents knowledge and power centuries ahead of us. We cannot waste this opportunity or misuse it. Humanity has been given a chance to evolve, to step into a larger role in the galaxy." Mara allowed herself a small smile. "We'll honor it. The Sentinel is more than a weapon. It's a guide, a partner. We must learn, understand, and act responsibly. Humanity's choices will shape the future." The Sentinel's voice resonated through the fleet, calm and precise. "Assessment complete. Human leadership, adaptability, and courage decisive in first major engagement. Knowledge and technology now shared with humans who have proven their judgment. Future development and exploration recommended." Rylan, still adjusting to the surreal events of the past hours, approached Mara. "Lieutenant, can you believe this? We just survived a battle that should have destroyed us. And the Sentinel, it's part of us now. It trusts us." Mara placed a hand on his shoulder. "Trust is earned, Rylan, and we've proven ourselves worthy. But this is only the beginning. The galaxy is vast, full of unknown dangers and discoveries. We've just opened the door." Kale, standing nearby, grinned. "I never thought I'd say this, but I feel like humanity is ready for anything. With the Sentinel, our intelligence, and our determination, we can face threats that no one thought we could." Mara looked out at the stars through the observation deck. The nebula where the alien fleet had retreated glowed faintly, a reminder of the dangers that still awaited them, but she felt something else now, a sense of purpose and possibility. Humanity had not only survived, but had proven itself capable of rising above impossible odds. "Commander," Mara said, turning to Harlan, "we need to consider long-term plans. The Sentinel can guide us, yes, but we must also establish a branch of exploration and defense. A force dedicated to learning, discovery, and protection. Something that ensures humanity uses this knowledge responsibly." Harlan nodded thoughtfully. "A wise proposal. We'll need careful planning, training, and oversight. But I agree. Humanity's future depends on combining our judgment with the Sentinel's capabilities." Meanwhile, the crew worked tirelessly, repairing ships and integrating Sentinel systems. Human engineers and AI interfaces collaborated seamlessly, each learning from the other, even in the midst of exhaustion. There was excitement, a sense that they were building something extraordinary together. As night fell, or what passed for night aboard the Odyssey, Mara stood on the observation deck again, reflecting on how far humanity had come. The Sentinel hovered nearby, its hull shimmering faintly with soft energy. It had been a partner, a guide, and a teacher, but it had also shown them that human spirit, curiosity, courage, and ingenuity was the ultimate force. Suddenly, the ship's sensors detected a faint energy signature beyond the nebula. Mara leaned over the console, her pulse quickening. "Sentinel, identify the signal," the voice responded calmly. "Unknown. Energy signature minimal but coherent. Originates from a star system not cataloged in human records. Potentially uninhabited. Recommended for exploration." Mara's eyes lit up. An unexplored system. "This could be our first mission beyond the battle. Sentinel, prepare a course. We will explore responsibly, learn, and ensure humanity's presence is known, but not in aggression, only in discovery and defense." Ryland's excitement was evident. "We get to explore new worlds, new stars, with technology centuries ahead of us," Kale added. And we get to shape humanity's future, responsibly. That's incredible, Mara smiled faintly. It is incredible. But remember, responsibility comes first. The Sentinel is powerful, yes, but human judgment will guide its use. That's what makes us worthy of this technology. The fleet prepared for the journey ahead. Ships were repaired, crews briefed, and supplies stocked. Humanity had survived its first true encounter with interstellar danger, and it had done so not through raw firepower, but through intelligence, courage, and adaptability. The Sentinel aligned with the fleet's navigation systems. Its core glowed softly, a symbol of the partnership between human ingenuity and advanced technology. Mara felt a sense of awe. Humanity had been given a gift, and with it a chance to step into a larger role among the stars. Lieutenant Voss, Harlan said, you have led with courage, intelligence, and vision. Humanity owes you a debt. But more importantly, you have shown what we can achieve. Continue leading, and the future of human exploration and defense is bright. Mara nodded, her heart swelling with pride. Thank you, Commander. But this is just the beginning. Humanity's potential is limitless, and the Sentinel will help us realize it. But it is our choices, our courage, and our determination that will define what comes next. As the fleet entered the uncharted star system, Mara felt a surge of excitement. The planets ahead glimmered with possibilities, new worlds to explore, resources to study, mysteries to solve. Humanity had survived impossible odds, had mastered technology beyond its time, and was now ready to step boldly into a future of exploration and defense. The Sentinel hovered near the fleet's vanguard, silent but ever present. It had been a test, a guide, and now a partner. Its presence reminded Mara that knowledge and power were not enough. Humanity's spirit, its courage, and its ingenuity were what truly mattered. Prepare for orbital insertion, Mara instructed. Let's begin our survey. Take careful readings, document everything, and remain alert. The universe is vast, and we are only beginning to understand it. Rylan tapped his console eagerly. This feels historic. Humanity is stepping into the stars like never before, and we're ready. Kyle's eyes sparkled. We survived impossible odds. We learned, we fought, and now we explore. This is our chance to shape the future. Mara nodded, looking out at the stars stretching endlessly before them. Yes, and we will do it responsibly, wisely, and courageously. Humanity has been tested, and we have proven ourselves. This is a new era, for exploration, for defense, and for discovery. A new era where humans can face the impossible and rise above it. As the fleet entered orbit around the first uncharted planet, Mara felt a profound sense of destiny. Humanity had survived against overwhelming odds, mastered technology centuries ahead of its time, and had the chance to define its place among the stars. The Sentinel systems hummed softly, a reminder of what they had learned and what still awaited them. Mara knew the journey ahead would be full of challenges, new alien threats, unknown phenomena, and the responsibility of wielding incredible power. But humanity was ready, because humans were not defined by fear or limits. They were defined by courage, intelligence, and the relentless drive to rise above the impossible. And with the Sentinel at their side, the stars were no longer distant points of light. They were the beginning of a future humanity would shape with wisdom, determination, and heart. The era of humanity's bold presence in the galaxy had begun,